The worst thing I did is probably throw rocks.
I got into my share of fights with students in school.
I stole a car.
I stole a car. And it was fun. And I just wanted to drive. I really wanted to drive.
Going down to Penn Station. If you left your luggage out and some of the gang would come by, I mean, you might be missing a suitcase.
So people wanted to fight me over dumb stuff. I get to slimming down and get to getting pretty, and the females get to looking at me. Some niggas like, I want to fight him. I want to fight him. I knock his face off. So I'm like, what? But I got me a nice little gun. Never got to use it. Got stopped by the police.
We used to shoot BB guns in the backfield, and we weren't too careful where we were shooting, and we took out a couple of windows that had to be replaced, and of course we had to work to collect the money to have them replaced. But it was things that could have gotten out of hand if they weren't corrected in the house or by my mother.
You know, we had foot patrol officers that worked the neighborhood, and you know, they knew the kids in the neighborhood, and if the foot patrol officer saw me on a corner, you know, or calling names, getting into a fight, he'd come and tell my parents, and I'd get my, you know, backside warmed up a little bit.
Our parents wouldn't tolerate a lot of things that you guys' parents tolerate.
It'd be fun on the corner, don't it? When there's a lot of people right there.
Because you can see up the street.
You can see everywhere on the corner.
You can see, it's not just about selling drugs, it's like a hangout spot. It's more around.
Because people don't want you on that step.
You can't, you sit on somebody's steps, they say get off, if I call the police. So where else you gonna go? And it'd be too many of us to be on our step. Because then our parents would be complaining. Get off the steps, take your friends somewhere else. You're going to evict the steps. Dumb cops come over there and come pull you up and be like, you can't sit here, so where else you gonna go?
The best thing that ever happened was when you could sit on the stoops on McCullough Street. The back door was open to the house and the front door was open. And everybody would come out and sit on the steps. Whole families would. And you wouldn't be harassed by the police officers.
And you can't go on the playground no more either. The police be trying to tell you to get off the playground at night now.
Right, because they think we selling drugs. If you just sitting there and you're not playing, you gotta leave.
But when I was a kid, we had recreation centers. I used to go up to Patterson Park. We used to, be involved in rec league sports activities.
We could go down there, we could shoot pool, we could play basketball. They had games for us, you could arts and crafts, whatever you needed. It was fully staffed and you could go there. Now, there are no rec centers. So now the youth
party, and they was all fighting and stuff. And that's who was coming right around the corner. So the police started following us, talking about y'all go in the house, it's too late, y'all calling us all these names and stuff. And that's when my sister and everybody else was trying to get smoked big with him. And he just kept on flashing the light on us and stuff, telling us to go in the house where we all live at, calling us out our name and stuff.
But when we were growing up, police were recognized as something good. I mean, that was someone that you could trust, and someone that you looked up to, and someone you respected.
That's why I say to change the times of doing something. I didn't steal cars or break in houses or, fighting. Yeah, we fought. We fought in my neighborhood where, I know it's probably old cliche, where people could live another day. We didn't just take a life.
You didn't retaliate by shooting him or anything like that. No, you proved your manhood by how well you fought.
We didn't like the person we were fighting them, but the next day we were friends again. But nowadays you don't see that. The access to guns and violence is just totally different.
My grandmother, she always talks about back in my day, it wouldn't just be my mother who would discipline me. It'd be my next door neighbor and my neighbor across the street. And if somebody, not just the mother, but everybody in the whole community whoop on them or whatever. So, I mean, now when your neighbors don't even want to talk to you, you be like, hello, neighbor.
But I grew up under different rules and regulations. I had to be home when streetlights came on. And before I could go outside, I had to get my homework done. And I couldn't talk back to no adults. I don't care if they told me the sky was purple. I know it's blue, but it will be purple.
If you don't have family members, who's gonna be able to discipline somebody if they all in prison or they did or they strung out on drugs and all they want is some more heroin or whatever.
So children withdraw into themselves, and therefore they're gonna find love somewhere. It's inevitable because everybody wants love. I don't care who they are. So you want someone to love you. So when they withdraw into themselves and they start hanging in the street, they're gonna pick up with the wrong crowd. They're gonna give them this false satisfaction of love, and that's your drug dealers and that's your gang members. And then they feel part of something. I don't get this at home, and I can make some money too. Oh, I'm joining this. This is for me. You're allowed to wear what you want, right? That's the right of any American. But we're talking realistic. We're talking realism here. If I see you and you're dressed in the colors we call on the east side, I don't know what you call it over here on the west side. If you're dressed in a bandana style uniform, then I'm going to stop you. I think we as police can do a better job when we stop you of educating you on why we don't want you to dress like that. And there are police out there that don't know how to educate black youth appropriately. So when I stop you, I'm going to educate you on why I don't want you to wear the bandana colors. That's where the shootings and the homicides come from. And the majority of the time, those are signs of drug dealing.
Being in a gang by itself isn't a crime. So if you're walking around on the street and they want to stop you and prevent you from, going about your business and question you and detain you, they can't do that unless they have reasonable suspicion.
It's like all this Crip and blood stuff just happened out the blue. I'd have heard about it on TV and in California. I wouldn't worry about it because I was like, man, it ain't coming early. I ain't worrying about it. I used to wear the red ones, the blue ones, green ones, yellow ones, black ones, pink ones, all of them. Now you can't wear red, you can't wear blue, you can't wear no color.
If the police see someone wearing red, I am sure that they assume that person is in a gang. But the question is whether that's right and whether that's okay. Now we know that the gang profiling isn't racially neutral, right?
Because you can see a Caucasian dude, like 5'9" in a business suit with a suitcase, and he could be going up to a ghetto apartment and have like half a kilo worth of cocaine or something in his suitcase. But they automatically assume that the black man has 2 rocks of cocaine on. Oh wow, let's give him 5 years.
In Baltimore City, there's about 100,000 people who are arrested every year. Half of the arrests that the Baltimore City Police Department makes don't result in a successful prosecution.
I guess it's a stereotype that we're harassing people, but in reality, we're in that community for a reason. We're in that community to make it better. So oftentimes we're investigating calls, and an officer doesn't come up and explain the full nuts and bolts behind why he's there.
Now, I've seen the police do some crazy stuff, I ain't gonna lie. But at the same time, I can't see where they coming from. They're not out there to be walking around smiling. They got a job and they gotta watch out for their back. Everybody out in the corner ain't a good person. But at the same time, everybody out there not a bad person. And it's just, don't nobody know who is who. After stopping dressing like a drug dealer, I don't remember the last time I got stopped by the police. That's just human beings, that's what we do. We make assumptions. You want to dress like that, you bound to get beat up by the police or at least approached. You bound, living in the hood especially. Why don't you take the initiative to, hey, I want to be different, I want to stand out so that I don't fit in with the rest of that crowd.
Just because gangbangers wear black shirts and drug dealers wear black shirts, that my little brother can't walk around with a black shirt on just simply because gangbangers wear, that's not even fair.
It's not fair, but hey, that's life.
So then all of a sudden you stop wearing your favorite color just because you're afraid of the police are going to stop you. Probable cause says that you actually have to see the person doing something wrong, or you have to have information to support the charge that the person is doing something wrong that you can then bring to a judge.
What happens when you generalize or make assumptions about a group of people? Over time, if those things are continually said, what happens? People believe that. They may not be true, but people will believe that.
Everybody around me was saying stuff like the police, they always beating up on people and they racist, and especially the white ones and the black ones, the Uncle Toms. So you go out in the street, as soon as the police look at you, what you looking at? You racist, you just don't like me because I'm black. As soon as he get out the car, it's like, hold up, what I done got myself into. And then as soon as everybody started getting around, you know, every time the police pull somebody up, everybody want watch. So you like, oh, this can't let the police punk me. Man, f you, this, that, and other, man, get out of my face. Y'all done seen that, call the police. Oh, here is the police. Well, call the news and tell them they done hit me, and this, that, and other, and then you looking dumb.
You have to know the whole story. And the media doesn't give you that. They give you bits and pieces of something. The media is there to sell papers and make money. Because there are a lot of good officers out there that do good things in the community, but you never hear about them on TV, do you?
We think they try to strike fear in our hearts and not gain our respect.
What were you doing?
Like we'd be sitting on the vacant steps, and like the police there jump out and start yelling and telling people to get off the steps, go somewhere, instead of just jumping out and being polite, like answering what we're doing and like just not being all rude and ignorant like that.
I mean, sometimes it may look that we're being aggressive or taking a stance that of that nature, but actually it's fear coming out. We're just trying to not show the fear, so we have to show some sort of emotion, and we may seem more stern.
It's the same reason people carry guns, they're afraid. So if you don't got a gun, what you gonna do? You gonna play as tough as you can.
We're kids and they were kids, and I know they act like us sometimes, so that's why we the same. We humans. We're both humans.
I mean, you can make mandates and say, oh, this needs to happen. But ultimately, until you start making that connection with people and they start building those relationships, I think that's what will work.
Police officers get out of their vehicles and they talk to citizens, not in bad times, but in good times, where they make relationships within the community. They do a lot of footwork. They talk to business owners, see what some of the problems are. They go into the schools, they talk to some of the teachers and some of the youth in the schools, and they bring community together.
Police was there, and they like had a positive impact on your life, and your parents was like, yeah, the police do good in the community, they help out. You gonna like, all right, I'm gonna give the police a chance.
People in the community, our younger people in the community, just going up to an officer and asking, you know, how you doing? Starting a conversation off as an icebreaker, you'll see a different reaction from the officer than you would think.
People are motivated by respect and getting the respect of others. I think the message of the movie is that police and kids need to get along because we need each other.